Hi everyone, I wanted to take a bit more time to talk about Imperial Assault today. So, FFG have just spoiled the Grand Inquisitor pack fully. Well, roughly almost everything basically. What's important for me on the skirmish side of the game is that they've obviously shown us his command cards, the upgrade card that comes in the pack, and we already knew what his abilities were, but they've clarified a couple of things. So I just want to take a few minutes just to briefly cover that. So the Grand Inquisitor is 9 points. He comes with a surge for +1 damage, a surge for +3 pierce 3, surge for cleave 3. He has a melee attack of red, green, yellow, a white defense die, a speed of 5, and 15 health. So it's a really good package already for 9 points. The speed of 5 is going to help negate that melee attack. It's a 3 dice. I mean, red, green, yellow, bad roll. You're still looking at like 4 damage and a surge for the PS3. So you should be doing consistent damage if you're getting him into melee. Defense wise, he's got 15 health and it does have an innate defensive ability. Is if you don't roll a block on your white die, you add in a block. Not quite as good as, for instance, Luke Skywalker is always adding in that block. You don't prevent as much damage in a chunk, but consistently you're going to stop something and it does negate the blank on the white die. It at least blocks 1 damage. So I feel like if you overexpose him, he'll still go down. He'll go down quicker than Luke because don't get as much variation on that defense. And although he does have more health, it doesn't have any way to get that health back built into it. It doesn't have recovery. So don't throw him out there in the same way as you don't throw Luke out there. If you use him correctly, I think he's going to be an absolute monster. Speed of 5 is really good for the Imperials as well. I've been whacking a couple of the big hitters. When I first started playing Skirmish, I was running the Royal Guard champion, and his speed of 6 was amazing, and he's considerably more expensive than the Inquisitor. So I feel like you can get a decent amount of use out of him. He is going to make an appearance. I'm going to be running him as soon as he hits the shelves. The other abilities he has on his card is the lightsaber throw. So he gets a ranged attack with 1 red and 1 yellow die, and he applies +3 accuracy to result. It's important to note, and FFG have clarified this in the article, that you can cleave off a range attack. You'd have to pick a legal target, which means that you're getting to pick somebody within a minimum of range 3 because of your +3 inbuilt accuracy. So he's definitely going to be spreading that love around with his lightsaber throwing death. You're not going to want to get too close to him. You can't really corner him if he's not activated yet with low health models because he can just rip them apart. The deadly ability on the card is one of my favourites that FFG have seen to be added to the Imperial side quite a lot. The -1 dodge result, and that's a surge ability. So it helps ensure you're consistently pushing that damage through. It's going to be a big help against some of the rebel heroes, the twin lists that have been dominating some areas recently. Rebel subs when they get lucky, all that kind of stuff. Just having that built into a card, not needing to rely on a lock-on command card, anything like that. I feel 9 points when you compare him to some of the other figures that have come out. Like, we're going to have a look at some of the other Imperial ones specifically in this video. But for example, like a Han Solo at 12 points doesn't really compare to a Grand Inquisitor. The value in this guy is outstanding. I've not made a list yet. I wanted to get the video out and then start going to play around with some different list ideas, but I'm going to make room for him. I may be looking at him and the ISBs forming a nice tight-knit unit, and then something else, so maybe another big hitter somewhere to push down. Some Royal Guards in there as well is going to be an absolute nightmare to deal with. Onto his command cards that come in the pack. You have his specific one, Hunt Them Down. Use when you declare lightsaber throw. Apply +2 accuracy to a result and gain cleave 2. So you're potentially cleaving for 5 on one target, or 2 and a 3 on somebody else. So if you're fighting against a trooper list and you've got them low, you can kill 3 guys in one attack, or you can really pile on. 5 uncancelable damage is not to be sniffed at. And obviously the accuracy goes up to a minimum of 5 for that, more likely a 6. So you can really reach out and touch someone if you've got his command card in there. And command cost 2 is more than reasonable for that ability. I really like it. Again, it's going to be one of those cards, if I'm taking Inquisitor, I'm going to take Hunt Them Down. It's too good not to. The other cards that are interesting would be Force Rush. Use at the start of your activation, you gain 2 movement points. That's for any Force user, so I can see this creeping its way into some of the Rebel lists, especially with the popularity I feel Davith Elso is going to bring up. I think Davith's really strong as well, and him and Luke being in a list, you've got 2 Force users in the 0-point card, so I feel like that will get some use. And Deadly Precision. Again, this just feels like it's made for Vader. The Inquisitor's not going to get much use out of it, but if they bring out some more Imperial Force users, but at the minute, it's all about the Vader for this one. If you've got him in the mix against some white dice rollers, it's 0 points, you're going to take this card if you fielding Vader, and it will do work. The other thing that comes in the pack that they've shown us for Skirmish is the Advanced Comm Systems. And this reads, it's a leader-only attachment. It is a unique card, which is good because no one wants to buy more than one Inquisitor pack. Abilities on your deployment card: choose or affect adjacent friendly figures or friendly figures within 2 spaces. Can choose or affect other friendly figures within 3 spaces instead. So it basically extends the bubble for officers, and then they do discuss it in the article, but I wanted to just go over some of my thoughts on it now. You've got General Soren is the one I feel like benefits the most from this, because he's got the bombardment and the advanced firepower. So as an action, he gets to choose an adjacent friendly figure. Now it's a figure within 3 spaces. That gets to perform an attack and gains Blast 1. So it's basically become an elite officer with an extra range on that figure as well, and gives them Blast 1. When you combine that with advanced firepower, which is friendly droids or vehicles getting to use his surge abilities, you're suddenly in a position where taking Soren with the elite HKs isn't as much as a liability anymore. You can space them out a bit better, you can cover a lot more angles, and triggering his advanced firepower from 3 squares away, and that's going to be scary. It is going to cost you an extra point, so a combo is going to come in at 21 points now for Soren, Advanced Comms, the upgrade card to let you take the Scum, and the Elite HKs. But someone's going to do it, and someone's going to make it work. Elite probe droids are relatively scary as well. I might not necessarily just use them with Soren, but it can buff up quite a few vehicles as well. You've got the ATST and the grav tank, which would benefit. A focused grav tank is pretty worrying, especially if you're getting the double attack, focus yourself on the first one. You can almost guarantee killing any black dice rolling character on your opposing side with those 2 shots. The other one that they bring up is Kane Somos. Unfortunately, Kane doesn't quite cut it for me. 10 points was just too much for him. I feel like he could have easily cost 8 points. And they are getting better, as the Inquisitor himself shows. They are getting better at costing these characters. But I think you've got to go with normal trooper spam if you're wanting to use Kane, because you'll be short on activation. Spending 11 points on a 12 hit point black dice roller who has got a decent attack himself. It's 3 dice, 2 blue and a green, but its surges don't really help him push out damage. It's all about buffing the stormtroopers. And yet, it can now focus troopers within 3 spaces with his surge ability. But I don't feel like you're getting enough value. I still prefer 2 elite officers to 1 Kane Somos, just because of the activation advantage that gives you and the movement abilities as well. I feel like it's more versatile. But we talk about it in the article, so I wanted to cover it here. I don't feel like it's useless. I just don't have it in my head yet how I'd use it. Back to Inquisitor, I mean, my first thoughts are, let's say, pairing him with some offensive hitters, Royal Guard, and probably some ISBs, so I can keep moving and try and be mobile and try and form a tight, packed hit squad. Maybe a bit of pro droid support as well for activation buffs, but I don't know how well he'll synergize with the officers, because he'll leave them behind too quickly with that kind of formation. But it should be interesting. I'm really looking forward to using him. I feel it is going to be potentially game changing. At the moment, I think he is the best card the Imperials have coming. Elite ISB infiltrators are good as well with the trooper spam list. There's been a lot of buffs to Vader recently, but I can honestly see the Grand Inquisitor being one of the best things in the Imperial Arsenal for now. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. If you've got any thoughts on the Inquisitor, any builds you're wanting to try, throw them in the comments. We can have a bit of a discussion in it there. And thanks for watching, everybody. See